Dr. Arpit Bansal.
Thank you so much, Marcus. Let's just center ourselves for just 5 seconds. One deep breath. So thank you so much, Marcus, for such a kind introduction. I'm a cancer surgeon, but today's talk isn't going to be about cancer or surgery at all. It is going to be about a different kind of healing, a kind of healing which we are discussing here, when we don't fight with our biology, but go with sync with healing. That's true healing, actually. So a couple of weeks back, I'm a surgeon and I run a hospital in Allahabad. So I was operating on a very unique, difficult laparoscopic hysterectomy for women suffering from endometriosis. And these numbers, I'll just explain in a bit. Because I'm a biohacker, so like I love to measure things, and then you have more proof also, and like share live data. So like right now also on my Whoop, my stage performance mode is on actually, and then I reflect on what it affects. Does my HRV, whether I was anxious. Now it's been a very routine thing, but so. Severe endometriosis, frozen pelvis, like very difficult surgery. 58 minutes I was standing and doing a complex laparoscopic surgery with trocars inside. Obviously I was seeing the screen. But, and this is not an anomaly, I would say. This is a signal. The refrain begins here. Because mastery is not strain. Mastery is disappearance of strain. So what really happened? This is my live data when I was operating a couple of weeks back, 23rd May exactly. And after 58 minutes of finishing a surgery, so this was a surgery like would push most surgeons into their red mind, I will come to it, or their cortisol surge, their heart rate, because it was a challenging surgery, your heart rate will go up, your pulse will be probably 100, 120. And after 58 minutes of doing this complex surgery, as soon as I scrubbed out, I immediately touched my phone and saw my Whoop, and after 58 minutes, my pulse was 46. And my stress levels was 0.4, like as low as I was in deep sleep. So we'll talk about the blue mind and the red mind and the flow state and all. But basically, I'm trying to give the point is that parasympathetic system, the blue mind, we'll talk about it, is a rest and the digest. But it is not only that. If you really understand it, it's a performance state. The metrics are there right in front of you. So again, repeating, mastery is not strain. Mastery is disappearance of strain. So there was once a time where I was actually meditating in 12 degrees cold Atlantic Ocean waters. And I was obviously not chasing discomfort. I was chasing clarity. And we live in a world where technology is speeding up and like where our bodies are burning out. But we have become to a person like where everything is burning out. So today I'm here to show you practically how you can become your biohacker 5.0 version by syncing with earth, water, air, fire, and the fifth hidden one, that is quantum. This is not a framework, this is a 21-pointer framework which nature has built through me. I'm just a channel actually. I'm seriously done very little effort. I've just connected the dots. And connecting the dots is the most beautiful game which universe lets you play. So in the next 40 minutes, I'll take you to this journey from the blue mind to the quantum coherence. 5 bodies, 5 frequencies, earth, water, air, fire, and the hidden one, the quantum, which Marcus built TimeWaver to measure actually. And so this framework, like what Marcus 48 life fields he has done, so this is that's a more deeper framework. This is a more practical framework which you can take to our own lives. So I will give you 5 actionable parameters for your earth or the physical body, 5 actionable take-home parameter for your emotional or your water body, 5 actionable for your air and the mental body, because there's no point to longevity if your brain is not in peak performance. And then obviously 5 actionable parameters for your fire, making it 20. And then the 5th one is just one, which we have been uttering the word since morning. So heal 1 and the other 4 will shift. Heal 5 and you become uninfectable, unbreakable, and unageable. And this is a framework which you can actually I have been applying for peak performance, for post-cancer patients, for stress burnouts, for CEOs, for athletes. So like in one of India's biggest chain of clinics called the Wellness Co, we are incorporating this 21 biohacking framework, and this can be actionable. We can build protocols around it. So what is true health? Like Dr. Liana beautifully pointed out that it's not just absence of disease. True health is when every cell in your body is like in a harmony and in coherence with every another cell of it. So if that really happens, you actually thrive, you perform, you evolve, and you flow all the time. And that's where biohacking comes into place. So personally, I don't like the word hacking because true health span isn't hacked, it's harmonized actually. But I continue to use it because it gathers the attention span of most people, and so that's what we actually want. Biohacking, the official definition is trying and using fancy gadgets like the molecular hydrogen bottle, which I bring to try and optimize our health. But my personal definition, and that's what I connect with the last speaker, beautifully put, that biohacking for me is trying to be the best version of myself physically, that's the earth body, mentally, that's the air body, emotionally, that's the water body, and obviously fire, that's the spiritual body, but also metabolic, I'll come to it. And then when you align these 4 basic elements, then the 5th magic one will come out. So biohacking is not something fancy just for astronauts. Biohacking is actually going back to the roots. So in this technologically advanced world, nature has sent me to give you this framework, because with biohacks, with gadgets, with pills, we are still getting confused. The real answer is going back to our roots. And so this is a parameter which you can apply free of cost. You can add some gadgets to try and optimize this. And it's basically an impossible is a state of mind, and there is actually a formula to achieve it. Biohacking gives you the map, not just to fight disease, but to unlock the art of impossible within you, which is there in each of one of us. We need to realize that healing is self-healing. Many people have said that before me. And it's about not adding any superpowers. It's about discovering the superpowers which each of one of us has already have. So like, what's the true purpose in life? To find our gifts and then bring value out of that to the people. So I found my gift, and I know you all also have found your gift. You just need to listen to our underlying frequencies. So today I invite you to not just see as a body, but as the field, as the 5 frequencies. Because when you align all of these, you unlock how to truly be exceptional every single day and do it yourself, then obviously your patients. So all these 21 parameters, I will not deep dive into all of them because most of us know it, but I promise you will take some which you are not focusing on. And so 5 parameters, let's begin with the first one. That is cellular hydration is your first biohack, because water fuels life, water is the source of energy, water is the source of communication. And do you know that with data, if there is just a 2% drop in your body's cellular hydration percentage, you decrease your physical and mental performance by up to 20%. And soon this will be measurable on all our gadgets, and then you'll realize that's a big number, like just 2% cellularly hydrated, because we can only peak perform if we are 100% cellularly hydrated. Ultimately, we are made up of 60 to 70% of water. Every single one of us sitting here is a water baby because they were born underwater in their mother's womb. There is no exception to that. You may fear water right now, but everyone is a water baby. So number 2 is, again, for your earth body, is your gut microbiome diversity. So we talk about Hippocrates. I am a doctor. I took an oath that he said years ago that all disease begins in the gut. And speakers before me, Dr. Liana, beautifully pointed out that our genes, so when we talk about our genes, we have 2 million microbial genes and just 20,000 human genes. So we are actually more bacterial than more human. We are actually a superorganism. Like if you visited a rainforest, like if you ever visit a rainforest, there are big trees, small trees, bushes, shrubs, twigs, fungi, bacteria. You don't go and remove all the bad ones. Nature doesn't thrive for perfection. And when we invented antibiotics, parallelly we invented fertilizers. We messed up the soil microbiome by giving fertilizers, and we messed up our internal microbiome by giving antibiotics. So we need to go back, and true longevity is obviously taking care of our gut biodiversity and the planet biodiversity. So I'm a bird watcher. I deeply connect with nature. And that is why probably I became the channel for nature. So boost your gut microbiome diversity, that's the key. Number 3 is VO2 max is your vitality meter. It has been, a GMA 2023 study shows that just VO2 max is a magical number. It outperforms cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, all the risk combined. And if you have a high VO2 max, you decrease the risk of all-cause mortality by up to 5-fold. That's a huge task. So move daily and live longer. Measure it. See, the only thing which I like about biohacking is unless until you measure things, you cannot improve. Sadly, that's how our human brain is trained to be. So once you get a number, you have to do it in the Bluemind. I'll come to it and not overthink about it, obviously. Number 4, strength or muscle. Train muscles, train them for life, because this is a hidden thing. After 40 years, we are losing 1% of body muscle. And after 50, we are losing 2% of our body muscle. So those of us who are fit, but still not training their muscles, even Swamiji, I would say, like we can, because muscle is our longevity currency. Like everyone, we should know that yoga trains our muscles, definitely. And body weight training, you don't need to lift weights all the times, but we need to train our muscles. And that is our longevity currency. We save money in our banks. That is our real currency for old age specifically. Number 5, deep sleep obviously isn't rest, it's biological magic. Do you know that just one night of sleep deprivation can make you as insulin resistant as a pre-diabetic the very next morning? Try and get an HbA1c done after a sleep deprived state. So that's a real game changer. And then you can really biohack into ways. So like I don't get jet lags ever. Last 1 week before I was in Austin, for 4 days, I landed there, slept at perfect time. So like once you do all of this, it happens automatically. Obviously, you need to do the right supplementation and right things, but grounding is one of the secret ones. So sleep prepares our body like no other thing which can. So that is why sleep is my number 1 biohack amongst this 21 list, because it's a non-negotiable thing. And nature made us to go to sleep after the sunset, but we introduced so many more things to our life. So once your physical body is fueled, earth gave you a body. And then next is obviously water. You are made up of 70% water. We shift because water doesn't just flow outside of us, it flows inside of us. So number 6 is Bluemind mastery. Now here we deep dive into this one. Bluemind is the parasympathetic or the calm state, which you may already know about. And red mind is the sympathetic or the stress nervous system. Your nervous system has only 2 colors. We all know the red, the fight and the flight. The blue, the true healing, the rest, repair, recovery. Your body is in restoration mode. So it's not complicated, but it is the real magic. Every speaker before me has mentioned vagal tone modulation. Why? Because this is the real thing. And every disease begins with a state. And every recovery begins with a switch. You can always switch. So red mind is that survival state, the same state which was built in our nervous system. Actually, when we were hunter-gatherers, if there is a lion, it was meant to turn on and stay on for a minute or 2 or some minutes to run and hide in a cave. So the same system which was meant to be switched on just for minutes is now continuously on. Your nervous system doesn't know whether there is a real lion or it's your message or a message from your boss or an email or your notification. So that system which was designed to turn on just for a minute or 2 or a few minutes is constantly on. And this is the big number 1 root cause of all diseases, including anxiety, including inflammation, which Dr. Patricia beautifully put out. The root cause is like we are not letting our body go back to the rest and recovery. So a lion and email, your brain always fires the same response. And this is the modern trap. And the result, when you're stuck over in the chronic red mind or the cortisol overload, your gut dysfunctions, and that again leads to the various diseases. Your recovery is poor, and chronic inflammation results, obviously. So the Bluemind is actually defined as that calm, coherent, relaxed, happy state in the now when we are not focusing on anything. We are just being happy and calm in the now, which Swamiji took us today morning, and with Marcus took today morning, which we were in our kirtan with. So it is actually, and Bluemind is, and when do we get this calm and coherent state? When we are near water, underwater, around water, over water, on a boat, or seeing a water, or listening to water, water automatically puts you to this magical state. And this, I believe, true longevity, because we know that planet Earth is made up of 70% water. Human body is made up of 70% water. We are actually aging because every single day we are chronically cellularly dehydrating. It's evident in nature. You look at a green leaf, it's green and hydrated. You look like an old leaf, it's brown and dehydrated. So it's actually the root cause of cancer, root cause of hypertension. If you deep dive, it is cellular dehydration for decades. So again, everything is connected to water. And here I would love to tell you one story. So a couple of weeks back, there was 2 patients which I saw on the same day. One was a 52-year-old male. He came with severe heart failure. We got all his CT angio, everything done. He was definitely in heart failure, though his cholesterol was normal. Why? When I got to know about his lifestyle, he was constantly on the edge, sleep distress. So he was in a classic patient where chronic red mind made his heart fail, not the cholesterol. And on the same day, I saw another patient of mine whom I operated for stage 4 cancer, actually. And I did a laparoscopic ovarectomy and hysterectomy, and obviously she did chemo and all that 6 months back. And then 6 months follow-up, she visited me the same day, and she told me that, Doc, I've been following what you've been telling all around the world, the Bluemind, and go sit near water. We are fortunate to be in Allahabad. So since that, I've been going to the river every single day. And when I go and sit next to the river, I just suddenly feel that not like a patient anymore. I just feel that the disease is no more. The water talks to me, and I feel whole and complete. Please, can we do test and see, because I strongly feel that I'm no more a patient. I'm healed. And I wasn't like almost tears when she said to like this, because that is what true healing is. As a doctor, as a surgeon, a patient walks to us in the red mind, most of the times. And if we don't shift the healing mindset to the Bluemind, then I may do the right surgery, I may give him the right molecules, but the disease is bound to come back. And that's what put me in this journey. 5 years back, I was operating, I was making money, so I was happy. But I started asking the question that, is it true healing? And then the water took me to another part which we are in today. So water is the fastest switch to all of this, because if you just put cold water on your face, it starts to calm yourselves down. You know about the mammalian dive reflex, and that's there in us naturally. So I'll talk about CO2 tolerance, and there I'll tell a story about one of my friends who's a free diver. So the number 6 point was the balance between the Bluemind and the red mind. And I propose confidently that true life, true longevity, true healing, true creativity, true happiness is lived when we start to live life more in the Bluemind rather than the red mind. And that's a game changer if you can embody and do it every day, because we get so, yesterday Swamiji was saying a beautiful story about India and traffic. So in India, we get this red mind and Bluemind practice every day. Here, it's a little more quiet, but I'm sure you get a lot of situations. Just simple questions you need to ask yourselves. I'm in the red mind or Bluemind? And I'm not saying that red mind is culprit and you should stay away from it. Red mind is the driving mind. So if you need to be consciously entering into the red mind to do things. But if you find yourself in the red mind for an issue of the past or the future, and you cannot do anything about in the now, then there is no point in lingering in the red mind. Then you should, as soon as you label it, you can understand that you can swim back to the blue, or at least the purple. I will come to the purple in a bit. Or maybe I can introduce it here. So till now we have said that the nervous system has the 2 colors, right? The blue and the red. But we all have practical lives, except Swamiji here, who has the honor to meditate maybe more hours a day. We have practical lives, and even Swamiji is very active in so many things. So when we stay more in our Blueminds, we just get into a relaxed and coherent state. So that's the real magic. But our practicality is lived in a shade of purple, because most of the things are turned on. Both systems are actually turned on. So the real game in life is to try and live in the closest bluish shade of purple. And this I understood with my daughter Arna when I was telling her about the blue mind and the red mind. Then she inculcated this purple mind concept, and now it's part of the book. So number 7, I'll come to the purple mind in the 20th biohack, because that is about flow state. So I'll explain it a little more. Number 7th is HRV mastery. Somebody before me also talked about that. HRV is the measure of your resilience. Yes, we cannot remove all stress from our lives because there are so many electromagnetic radiation, there are pollution. You cannot, so you have to, the answer is we need to make our bodies more resilient. And ice baths are one magical way where you have to introduce controlled stress on your body. And that's what, by introducing cold shock proteins, it's a game changer. And people believe it's a physical recovery tool, ice bath. It is. But it has changed my personal games, and to all my clients who I'm introducing it gently, it builds emotional resilience, it builds physical resilience, of course. It builds spiritual resilience, and it builds mental resilience like next level. So it's a game-changing tool if you can incorporate. And what does HRV for? Who doesn't matter, don't know. It's a measure of the variation of your heart rate. So for example, if I do my run, and I'm a runner as well, so my heart rate will go to 160, and then if I stop my run, the sooner I can come down to my resting heart rate. Obviously breath work, and that helps. The more resilient your nervous system is. So HRV is truly your nervous system flexibility score. And I will tell you one beautiful thing, because I've been tracking my HRV day in and day out, and HRV tells you whether you're going to get unwell. So earlier, 3 years, 2 years ago, when I used to travel, and like when you're sleep deprived, your HRV obviously goes down. But for the last so many months, and specifically this Berlin, this castle which I'm going to, every time I go in a coherent room like right now, my HRV peaks. It doesn't matter whether I'm traveling, whether I'm jet lag. I have live proof. Today my HRV shows 88. That's a huge number. And like after traveling, it is practically not possible. Though I got a beautiful night of sleep also yesterday. Didn't get any jet lag. But HRV is a very funny marker, and just 1 millisecond increase in your average HRV protects you from all-cause mortality by up to 10 to 15%. So it's a huge gain which you get in return. So these are my numbers. I track them during surgeries, I track them during underwater meditation, and I track them during stage performances. So, and like you try and understand what your system is. And we'll come to it towards the end when you involve the quantum world with it. For example, right now there is a Dr. Arpit Bansal who's standing on the stage. I'm talking to you. And there is another version, Dr. Arpit Bansal, who's just observing me here. And there is a third Dr. Arpit Bansal who's observing both of us. So that's for the observer effect part. So breath work, obviously. So here just 6 breaths per minute optimizes your HRV, activates your vagal tone, and reduces your blood pressure in minutes. So let's do a round of box breathing. People are aware of box breathing? Like 2 rounds, I will count 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 hold, 1, 2, 3, 4 exhale, and 1, 2, 3, 4 hold again. We'll do 2 rounds of it. I'll do with you. Let's sit straight, everyone. Because breath is the biggest doorway. Today, Marcus in the morning also guided us through a beautiful meditation. So, whenever you are ready, in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more round. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back. You seem more centered and because we all were quiet and we were all doing it. So I breathe even underwater. Like imagine doing the same thing underwater. And yesterday Swamiji was showing different ways of calming our minds down. So all the kinds of meditation which we know of. I'm a transcendental meditation practitioner. I do various different kinds. I love chanting. I love mantras. I love binaural beats. Breath work, which we have been guided into beautiful. All meditation which exists on our planet is our top-down approaches. You focus on through your brain on your breath, on the mantra, on the om, on anything, for maybe on the binaural beats, and then your mind, your brain leads, and then your body follows into the calm, coherent, the default mode network, the Bluemind state. That is a top-down approach. But ice baths are also the example of the second kind, but only for trained people. I'll explain that later. But underwater meditation is a unique nervous system reset. This is the reason which people across the globe call me as the Aquaman biohacker in the longevity industry specifically, because I'm bringing tools like underwater meditation. But before that, I want to explain what it is. So it is a unique sensory deprivation meditation. People who are sitting here who have fear of water or who are not comfortable in water. What's the two most common fear? We'll drown and our breath will go out of, we'll not be able to breathe. So in this, we wear a seat belt, we wear a weight belt, and we go in a pool. Like if anybody is comfortable, we can do it in nature, that's beautiful. But we go in a closed, simple, safe, shallow pool. We wear a weight belt, and we have scuba cylinders, ideally small ones, and you have air, so we are intentionally drowning. We want to sit down at the base of the pool. I do with the person. And obviously the second thing, you have the air. So, and when I present this, many scuba divers come to me that I know what you're trying to say. The underwater world is magical. But I have had my octopus teacher moment where an octopus literally came and sat on my hands and we connected. That was actually my deepest Bluemind moment. And being a surgeon, I know that nature sometimes can do magical things. And octopuses, as my friend Chris already knows, they're probably organs like aliens from the future because they're the most oldest and yet the most curious ones. So underwater meditation is a unique sensory deprivation meditation because once you go under the water, we are not used to be around water and our breath is controlled. The aim is to close our eyes or not think of a task. The scuba divers, I am a scuba diver, I love, but once we go under the water, we are looking for beautiful things. That still puts you in the task-based network. It's a good state to be in, but the real magic, Guruji took us various layers. So real magic is when you go in your default mode network under the water. And you can close your eyes. So I am actually a crazy biohacker, and water owns me. I've given my life to water. El agua mi guía hacia mi destino. I write in my journal. I've also written on that paper there. That is, in Spanish, it means the water guides me to my destiny. So once you go underwater and you are in your default mode network, it's a most magical state to be in, and you can tap into various deeper levels. And it's a unique bottom-up approach. So coming to it, and I'm not saying that in any way this is superior to any kind of meditation, but the perspective shift in our mind that you can get into that calm, coherent, relaxed state, bottom-up and top-down, that is the game changer in itself. And that's what, once we know that we can get into that state, bottom-down, and you can use ice baths to train into the same thing. The ice baths also trigger the mammalian dive reflex. And, but only for trained people, because the real benefits of an ice bath starts when your heart rate starts to go down. Once you get in extreme cold water, obviously. For most untrained, most beginners, it will have a cortisol or a red mind surge in the beginning. Your heart rate will go up in the sort. So obviously it works because of vagal activation, because of CO2 tolerance. I'll come to it in a bit. And I don't know, it magically switched to German. but that's okay. You guys know German anyways, so I'm happy. And I didn't do anything in this, actually. Above the water, I always say you think. Below the water, you feel. And the secret word will come in the end, which is obviously which we are driving towards. So the 8th biohack, which we just practiced shortly, was breath work to relax your nervous system, to relax your emotional system. And number 9 is gratitude. Daily gratitude journaling literally, physically thickens your prefrontal cortex. There have been studies of it. So if you're not doing it, it literally thickens your prefrontal cortex, which is your master brain. So please do it. It rewires your emotions. Nature therapy, I was just grounding to a beautiful tree before my talk recently. And that's my favorite way to bioharmonize my jet lag wherever I travel. And so nature, forests in Zinku, I'm sure you've heard about the Japanese therapy. Whenever you go to nature, it releases phytonicides, and that increases your natural killer cells, so it boosts your immune system by 50% for a week. So you visit a rainforest, you visit any forest, you visit beautiful trees here, and for 1 week, your immune system is boosted by rise of natural killer cells by up to 50%. So this is all science. And in nature, Tauropsis dohranae, the immortal jellyfish, has already reminded us that biological aging is not an unbreakable law. Through cellular reprogramming, it hints that you can live forever, actually. So when emotions settle like a still lake and our mind clears, then it's time to start thinking about our air or the mental body. The number 11th for our air body is the NSDR. If sleep is the biggest biohack, NSDR is like a patch. If you haven't slept, just a 20-minute session of non-sleep deep rest. It's basically coming from our Indian culture only. Yoga Nidra is exactly same as non-sleep deep rest. Basically, if you cannot sleep, you can still get the entire benefits. Just a 20-minute session will reduce your cortisol levels and give you benefits equal to 2 hours of sleep. And I'm planning to do non-sleep deep rest underwater. That is going to be obviously next level. So next time I will have data for that, and I'll share that as well. Number 12 is neuroplasticity. Our brains are plastic till the last breath. This we know, so every day, please learn something new. For me right now, I'm learning Spanish. Yo hablo español. Number 13 is read. Read books daily and off-topic books, not your expertise book. 10 minutes of book reading reduces cortisol by 68%. Sometimes it's faster and stronger than listening to music, having a cup of green tea, or even going for a short walk. Number 14, this is the hidden one, CO2 tolerance. So CO2 tolerance is how well your body and your brain tolerates the lack of oxygen. Let's do a small exercise first. So after a normal exhale, let's hold our breath. So I'll not make you do long because I have not too much time left, but I have to cover a lot of things. But 15 to 20 seconds after, what really happens in your brain? There's that uneasiness, that restlessness, that is not because of lack of oxygen. That is because your body and brain, how it responds to the gas carbon dioxide. Low CO2 tolerance, I can give the PDF to everybody, so don't worry about photos. Anybody who is interested in the PDF, sorry I didn't say it in the beginning, you can just email me or message me. I will surely be open to share this PDF because there is too much information for you to just listen. I'm happy to share it and you can go take back. Low CO2 tolerance is quick breathlessness and anxiety, poor focus. High CO2 tolerance is calm under pressure, sharper thinking, and better stamina. And anybody can train it within a week to reach 1 minute, and you will notice the clarity in your mind. Number 15 is digital reset. Do you know how many times we touch our phones every single day? Any guesses? 2,600 times. So every time we touch our phones, that is fragmenting our attention span, and it is rewiring our biology that is normal. And we are again stuck in our red mind. So these things are essential. Once your mind is sharp, the final ignition happens in the fire body where purpose, spirit, and inner energy comes live. Number 16, so Marcus here, Chris, Swamiji, there are so many of us who have found our purpose. So we straight away live 7 years longer than others. Because that's the real science. Find your why, extend your life by 7 practical years. That's the biggest thing. Fasting. Fasting is there in our spiritual traditions, but biologically, every month at least we should do a 24-hour fast. It triggers your cellular autophagy, your body's natural cleaning system, by up to 300%. That's a huge boost. You don't need supplements if you can do this. Number 18 is sunlight. People believe it's just for circadian rhythm, but it is for your metabolic rhythm. It's for connecting with nature. It's a reset timer. Sunlight synchronizes spiritual rhythms, your body's rhythm to back to Schumann resonance. It's a game changer. Number 19th is heart-brain coherence, which we have been doing, which I was describing then. When I walk into a room like this, my HRV automatically peaks. So my numbers, exists in numbers now. So we cannot share that because we feel the resonance. We feel the connection. So it is true. It is actually the scientific evidence of spiritual alignment. And do you know that your human heart sends more signals to your brain than the brain sends to your heart entire lifetime, and not by few numbers. It's by more than 40,000 times. That is how stronger our emotion and our connection is. And number 20th, obviously, which Marcus has beautifully showed us in his mother equation also, is flow states. And flow states are sacred. You can train them for muscle. What is flow? Like, apart from going with the flow as a slang, I love to use it. But going with the flow is a neuroscientific state where dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, anandamide, and norepinephrine, these 6 neurochemicals cocktail fire in our brains. And we perform at 500% with normal, like effortless feeling. All the things which we have been describing, effortless feeling, that's the state of flow. So how do we get into flow? This is the flow cycle, and the recovery part is which people are missing. If you recover properly, that is why sleep is my #1 biohack. I've been living in my flow state every single day of my life since the last 3 years. So there are some tips and tricks where you can understand your own microflow. First things, there has to be a period of struggle. Like, I'm a surgeon. For a surfer, for a pianist who learning to play stage performance, or a surfer, you have to go through that initial phase of struggle. So we'll take an example of a surfer. He learns surfing, and then suddenly once he sees a wave which is huge. He's never ridden such a wave before. The story which I was describing on my case which I started, that's exactly complex surgery. A surgeon, I had gone through my phase of struggle, and then the surfer just climbs on the board and he let go, let be. He surrenders. And all his training, all my years of training, suddenly, automatically, my body peak performs, and you enter the state of flow. And in flow, time passes strangely. There is no time, past, present, future, all happening now. So once you, we believe that, obviously, money is not the most important currency of our lives. Then we believe then time is. But I believe once you live in the flow state, time is not linear. And then obviously we also live in the quantum world. But once you experience flow state practically daily, that time is not linear. So then time cannot be the most beautiful currency of our lives. So it is obviously attention, the most important currency of our lives. And then you can train your flow state. So I help clients and people train their own flow state and be in more flow. And then, to enter flow, you have to be unitasking, doing simplistic things, like full attention in the now. But once you are in flow state, you can multitask, you can peak perform, you can be your best version physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And obviously, the recovery is the key. So this is the purple mind. The purple mind is because, as I told, so I'll give you an example during a run. When I run, you know about runner's high. Many people describe runner's high. So that is the state where you feel effortless action. So when I go do my half marathon, I don't feel the effort. So that is because 80% is, for example, is my parasympathetic or my blue mind, and just 20% of my red mind. On the contrary, some runs, or for newer runners, the run may feel like a 99% or 100% red mind activity because you're actually doing things. So the key is to understand your shade of purple and plan and target it. And flow is dynamic. Flow is not fixed. Flow you can train it, and you can, as beautifully the German translation, so you can understand. It's not a system, it's like it happens in a controlled nervous system. Your HRV helps you be in more flow if you have trained your resilience through ice bath. Everything is connected, and that's what the beauty of it is. And so once you start, the 20th was the last thing for the fire body, and then now we unlock the quantum coherence, the magical word which we have been talking since morning, everybody is talking about. So quantum coherence happens in the fifth, or the hidden body, the body which Marcus made TimeWaver to measure. And through enzyme tunneling, we know that quantum, like I am a bird watcher, so bird navigation happens through an inclination compass, which works on the quantum physicist principles, photosynthesis, DNA fidelity. So basically, classical biology explains the part, and the quantum biology explains the magic in between. Life is not random machinery, it is quantum poetry and coherence turning probability into biology. And coherence is the nature's way to show how life happens at the speed of life. And it is nature's hidden operating system, as Dr. Lana also beautifully pointed out and before speakers presented out. And Chris will show us beautifully in the next 15 minutes how to enter quantum coherence through radical surrender. Quantum entanglement, the brain-heart coherence, microbiome-mind link, and even remote resilience, which we have with our children sometimes, shows that our biology are not isolated. And mirror states, me and Chris, we do mirror neuroning quite a bit. And we don't talk, but we come to know what's happening in his life. So through mirror neuroning, I've almost finished a book called Quantum Buddies, that you need to read with a quantum buddy, and you can train your quantum mirror neuroning. That's the world we are living in, actually. It reveals how entangled fields connecting cells can actually build communities. Quantum superimposition. So we all know that cells and neurons hold multiple potential, disease and health in the same state. Creativity and stagnation. We need to understand, before collapsing into one outcome, we need to understand how we can collapse into the best version of yourself. And that is what we are building here together. And the human biofield, the heart, the brain, and the cellular rhythm resonates with the Earth's magnetic fields also, the Schumann resonance. And it aligning the circadian rhythm, like speakers before me has beautifully put out the systems. So this is how you become in coherence. And heart rhythms can synchronize with Earth's Schumann resonance. We have seen this recently. There was a big, everybody felt that right now also. And the collective meditation which we have been doing can actually shift geomagnetic activity, showing that consciousness is not isolated. So ultimately, we are not just matter, we are energy in coherence. And through, so this 21 biohacking framework, one life, 5 bodies, 5 frequencies, earth, water, air, fire, and quantum. As I said, you don't need to take a picture of this. I will send PDFs because this is my framework, but nature has built it through me. And I'm a global change agent sent by nature. And water has chosen me. So if there are any other air, water, there's a quantum field flow tribe which is forming. Anybody's inputs are more than welcome. So ultimately, the quantum body is the connector, the uniting the other 4, the field of where coherence of biology, belief, and consciousness meet. And healing is not 4 fragments. It is basically 5 frequencies. And I'm sure you understand it very beautifully. And the quantum body is the invisible thread. It connects earth, water, air, fire, weaving coherence into life. So I'm a surgeon, a bird watcher, a scuba diver. Every dive has taught me adaptability. Every birding session has taught me patience and observation. And every surgery teaches me precision and respect for life. So in the end, I would say true health span isn't hacked. And like we are all in the pursuit of longevity, we are always changing the latest tech, the latest molecule. There will never be a one longevity pill, magic longevity pill, which I believe, even though Elon Musk and others may disagree. Even if that pill comes, I would take it. I would do my research and take it. But I still keep on practicing this 21 framework because that's how you sustain the best version of yourself every single day of your life. So biohacking isn't a health hack, it's a perspective shift. And we are all biohackers because we are all thinking about our own health. We need to bioharmonize our earth, water, air, fire separately, and then automatically it starts flowing and you stop surviving, you start thriving, you'll go into your flow state. Sorry about that. So I would say, in the pursuit of longevity, we often chase the newest molecule, the latest tech. True health span isn't hacked, it is harmonized. Sync with your biology, flow with your breath, honor your mitochondria, and respect your gut. Because true longevity isn't about avoiding death. It's about living so alive, living so deeply, living in your flow state that time also passes around you and not against you. So the secret isn't in more hours, it's in more flow. And we all have and know about our flow state. You sometimes need somebody to help you along with it. And that is why I wrote this book. There are multiple books coming. This is a very thin book, 1 hour read, written, proofread by my daughter who is sitting there. Her name means Arna. And Arna in Hindi, Sanskrit means flowing water. So that is my real purpose in life, to teach people about living life more in the blue mind and the flow state, going with the flow, and underwater meditation as a unique nervous system reset to live life in more the blue mind and the red mind. I've made like 85-year cardiac surgeon who has never ever done water, changed his entire game by just a 20-minute underwater meditation reset session. So this is available on Amazon. And I will just like to play a song here. This is the music album. The lyrics are my consciousness, but made with AI. We live in a beautiful world. You can search my name, Dr. Arpit Bansal, or the album's name, The Medicine That Doctors Don't Know, on Amazon, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Can you play this? This is you can hum with me. It's basically a gist of what. Can we increase the volume?
There is the earth that holds my body. There is the air inside my breath. There is the water in the feeling. There is the fire in the heart. There is a fifth one you cannot see that has known me from the start. The quantum body.
Increase the volume, please.
Body, where all the others are. And the time just keeps on rolling, and the breath just keeps on flowing. I am only here for now. Blue mind, show me how.
So you can listen to this. It's an official Bluemind tribe album, and people are using this to do their ice baths, to do their run. The other catchy song, which is my favorite, is 6 in, 6 out. And in that the hidden magic line, the medicine that doctors don't know, is craving quite a rave among my friends and families. It's a great playlist. I would be honored if you can listen to this. Thank you so much. And we think about the living long. So the living long, just the mind won't take you. Tribe will. So I've also, a Bluemind 120 tribe is happening through WhatsApp. It's like a WhatsApp community. We do Zoom calls and explaining and helping you deep dive into all these 21 biohacking frameworks. Every week we revolve, and there are some accountability, and you can join this journey. And it's priced very, very nominally right now, like just $130 international US dollars for the entire year. So that is hardly anything. Would be happy to see you there. And I do medicine personalized. So I'm a surgeon, but I'm also an integral functional medicine healing. And I do post-cancer consultation and other stress burnouts with this same framework, working on the root causes, helping them through other natural sources of healing, and obviously doing the main things first. And I invite everybody to India's first longevity and biohacking event. Marcus is coming, Chris is coming, and many more people from here are coming and across the globe. This will be like Indian Independence Day, Fairmount, Mumbai. India vows for longevity on its Independence Day. So I cannot have curated this. This is the field which is curating this. So like 1 week back, I was in Fairmount, Austin. That was Dave Asprey. The US is one of the biggest biohacking conference, and it's happening in Fairmount, Mumbai. So I could not have planned it better. It's again, I'm in awe with life every single day of my life, because here I would love to end and first of all thank Marcus for inviting me here. thank Swamiji, thank Chris, and all my beautiful friends. There are some of you in the crowd who are there in the quantum field flow tribe group, where we go like embody flow more, because obviously we need to be the best version, but together, collectively, we can be so much better. Deep gratitude. And I would end with this: above water you think, below water you feel, inside coherence you live. God bless you. Thank you so much for being such a patient audience.